Here it is. Maximum alert. U.S. troops now occupying America. This is a maximum alert. And just in case the public doesn't realize what's happening, I want to break it down for you. From Michigan to California, from Arizona to Texas to Florida to Iowa to Ohio to New York to Massachusetts, regular Army troops, Marines, National Guard, they are all running around the country being deployed in an acclimation operation. It doesn't matter if it's a county fair in the middle of nowhere in South Dakota. It doesn't matter if it's a small town in Arizona or a big city in Texas. It doesn't matter if it's an NFL football game, a college football game, a local football game. And this has been going on for several decades, but it's expanding. It's getting larger and larger. They have National Guard, State Guard, regular Army, Marines come out and search people. Randomly at checkpoints, randomly going into the city center, randomly going into a high school football stadium. We have the photos, we have the videos. They're in my film Martial Law we put out in 2005. This is on record, and we would cover this, and people would be in denial about it, saying that's not happening. It's posse comitatus violation. I videotaped in Police State 2000 and Police State 2 the takeover and Police State 3 total enslavement. Marines all over the country coming in, practicing taking over Hebron, Maryland, practicing taking over Swansboro, North Carolina, practicing taking over areas of Oakland, California. And I would go and videotape it, and the Marines would walk over and say, turn your camera off. You're not allowed to videotape us. And they would come up to other people that sent us footage in Maryland and with guns, with the police, and say, in America, you can't videotape plainclothes Marines directing uniformed Marines and the Boy Scouts in, quote, hunting down militia members. Now it's admitted that they have the Boy Scouts working with them nationally, the Girl Scouts. And they've gone from maybe 100 drills a year 10 years ago, and that's just a guesstimation, to tens of thousands of drills. And now they're not drills. They'll just set up a checkpoint and start searching people. And they've done that with the Army and Marines. Remember, 3 months ago, we had the state representative on. The governor of Tennessee put out a statement saying we are not going to have Army and National Guard and Homeland Security and FBI and BATF and local police and state police out shutting down highways, searching cars. And then for 2 weeks straight, the military went ahead and did it and just told the governor, shut up. They said, we're doing this under Northcom because the John Warner Defense Authorization Act states we have authorization to do this. And the John Warner Defense Authorization Act, let there be no debating this. For any of you out there in denial, the John Warner Defense Authorization Act states that Homeland Security will set up Northcom brigades to take control of the states from the governors. And for civil insurrection, Army Times a year ago said they're going to deploy 1 brigade. Then it was 5 brigades. Now it's 379,000 troops. So a brigade's 4,000. Divide that into 379,000. How many brigades is that? It's a lot of brigades. And ladies and gentlemen, they are deploying. They are deploying. You can read the press releases from the state police in Arizona, in Texas, in California, where they just announced that they've got the Army, they've got the Marine Corps, they've got the National Guard, they've got the state guards. It's all being federalized. Armories that were empty are now being turned into threat fusion, threat integration centers with the local police, county police, state police, and the military. They're moving heavy armaments and light armaments into them. The military doesn't work for America anymore. It works for offshore banks that have bankrupted the country by design and are criminally bringing us into receivership. $23.7 trillion has been stolen in the first 10 months of the banker takeover, October 3rd. We haven't gotten numbers in a month and a half. It'll be over 28 trill when the numbers come in following the trend. 28 trill right now is gone. Confirmed, 23.7. We have been completely and totally robbed. Professor Barnett at the Navy War College brags that the military works for offshore corporations in the New World Order. He started laughing at me and he said, yeah, no, you're going to fail. You can't stop us. I mean, these people sit there on the phone saying, you're not going to stop us. I mean, it's just so sick. I mean, they just sit there literally laughing and growling at me on the phone. It's so funny to them because it's all about winning to these people. You think we can have a military that's half the military on the planet, more than half the military expenditure on the planet? You think they can go overthrow hundreds of third world countries, run black op, run child kidnapping rings, engage in every form of corruption and evil, and then engage in domestic propaganda operations that the Pentagon admits they're involved in and planting false news, and that they wouldn't try to take over the country? It's Lockheed Martin that runs most of the red light camera systems. It's other defense contractors that now own the big private prisons in America. All over the country, from the East Coast to the West Coast and every major state, videos are pouring in of regular Army, regular Marines, National Guard, Air Force, National Guard, Army, Marine Corps Reserve, running illegal checkpoints all over the country, pulling people out of cars, shutting down highways, pointing guns at people. They are locked and loaded. They are armed. And there's just massive activity going on under Northcom. Open announcements of 379,000 troops to be phased in the next year on the streets of your town and city. The Pentagon told Congress they're going to even be in small towns. They're going to be merging in with your local police. It's high treason, absolute red dawn. Defense Link and the Pentagon reported that at a National Guard base, they were massing 2,500 Army National Guard, Air Force Guard, MPs, regular Army MPs, and Air Force MPs. That's in the Defense Link articles. These are the types of headlines that are in the AP, AFP, Reuters. There are more than 100 in the last 2 days that I have seen. You just Google the term New World Order and click news. You'll see hundreds and hundreds of news stories just in the last couple days. Yes. Is this Rob Dew?
Okay. Yeah, we're on 33rd and Liberty in kind of a downtown part of Pittsburgh. We just passed they had the street blocked off, and they were using the sonic weapon on us. They were using it to broadcast, and then they would ramp up the signal for a brief second to let them know that they could, blow some eardrums out. It got pretty loud, and people were crouching down behind.
Who were they using this on? Was this on a protest or just you?
No, this is the protest. We were walking with the protesters downtown, and
Tell me you've got video of this, the first time U.S. military uses weapons on the U.S. since, like, Kent State. You're telling me you guys had camera rolling under attack?
We had camera rolling while the sonic weapons were going off.
Oh, my God. You got to send somebody back up to grab it, upload it to YouTube. Did we get... Oh, my God. You guys are definitely getting hazard pay for this.
They're driving right past me right now.
Get them on tape.
With the guns. They had two of them. They were using them to broadcast messages in Spanish and English. That's the engine right now. You can hear it passing me. And there's a guy sitting on top. And they would broadcast a message from the chief of police that we were in an unlawful march. And they said they'll arrest anybody. Doesn't matter if you're pressed or not.
What was this like?
The decibel level was very, very high. One moment I was covering the front of the protest. The next moment my eardrums were blasting. And as that happened, I basically turned around, saw about 40 riot police assisted by military.
The military was with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they were in military fatigues. SWAT is also here. I got a good shot of one of the military personnel who was at the top of the sound decibel thing on top of the Pittsburgh paddy wagon.
They're now deploying with LRAD sound cannons. They're now deploying with microwave guns. It's in the local news. They're rolling it out at the tea parties. The whole Homeland Security system is for the American people. Now, in the first deployments, they've been phasing these in over 20 years, but 10 years hot and heavy. The first time they put you out is directing traffic just to acclimate you that it's normal and to acclimate the citizens. The next time they have you search a few bags randomly. Next, they have you out taking blood at DWI checkpoints without warrants. You are being prepared to go to war against America and engage in high treason. Do not destroy your sacred honor. Do not destroy your family name.